where I get for attend about 9 o'clock. We will make honorable go meet you. But yesterday was very much sobering and very interesting celebration because this time we decided to make we just do a prayer, call God with all the faith that we will get in this country. Christian, let me did it. Muslim, let me did it. And they all make very, very important messages. And all of these messages, we talk about peace. Messages talk about national cohesion. We talk about unity and how we love each other. So this is the basis, the brick wall. The building bricks for a very, very stable nation. We in our president's message, in our myself, with his father, and we deal with man for the country, and we say, come say, that all man one because peace is the second one of the best thing we will happen to any mortal man.
All right. Honorable, the speech yesterday with President gave, it was a very long speech, and a lot of people get mixed feeling about the speech. Some say the president has confessed, like J.S. Momo did, actually, where he say you deserve honesty from your government. As presidential spokesperson, now that the media don't decide, people are saying the president has confessed, like Joseph Saidu Momo did, that he has failed. How true could that be from that statement?
That is a figment of anybody's imagination for like think, say, or interpret that one. But that the person we will talk himself will say he lied to himself, not to the people. Because the clear evidence is out there, which this president don't do. All of the things that we be saying they do for we during a new direction 2018 to 2023. We almost don't do all, let me say 95% of them, we don't do them, and this is waiting. Not in the human capital. a conference in nine we get this independent commission for peace and national cohesion, which they help we for talk the blabber that this country has. So if they don't do something, all the problems they will be not getting not go so people still insist. But he continues to do that. He continues to reach out to the people that know say you have for making a peace in this country. Because for him, I can always talk say whether build a peacemaker and a peace builder. I mean you know him when he was president in 1996. He go fend for the Sankona Bush. He put up he said, "But let's forgive the people. They are your people. Can we talk? What do you want? People can't talk. I need to do a peace accord with President Ahmad Tijan Kaba. Be able to conclude for it. With we say, oh, yeah, we they talk. Thing like how they talk. So first them all man they run. All man they not push. All man they not diaspora. They run away out of your own country. So this is not what I would say a defeatist statement. It's just being honest. They want to make the man be dishonest. No, anybody will want for the people who possibly dishonest. And that possibly, get the people like heart. President Bill not possible way to they think about it, people them.
All right.
About it, people them, and they work towards the people their interest.
All right, Honorable President said 1961 we were not handed a finished nation, and he go further and say youth frustration for job. Then to ya how you go just oppose and waiting if he say go be the headway for Sierra Leoneans.
In 1961 there was youth frustration for jobs.
No, he said 1961 we were not handed a finished nation. Yes, sir.
Of course, were we handed a finished nation? No nation was handed a finished nation at independence. Because within colonization can do. Colonization can take and can go, not to make inside this country. Not like some of the francophone countries. The francophone countries they're lucky because when the French people then go, the intention are for stay. So they made the try for improvement as much as they can, but they don't comfort. But for us, it was only to come and take and go. And we do that. You don't really expect to get a finished nation with 1961. The number of picking them with the school, primary school, that is now only 15% of all school age children in a school. And then 15%. And then
All
But
right.
because of the experiences we know in Banakovac, because of those experiences, we're able to then PHA stop it within a year. We don't stop the monkeypox. That is development. That is improvement. That is growing. That is growth. And for me, I believe say this president is doing so well. Make we not knock him. Then we say the president won by a peacemaker. The president wants justice. The president wants the old man free in Sierra Leone, of course. And everybody knows it. Sierra Leone are the only country we can call you, and that they no more give for cap. Thank you very
All
much.
right, Honorable. Before we left you, aside of you being the presidential spokesperson now, the Sierra Leone People's Party, in your view, the ordinary Sierra Leoneans still continue to cry. The president say year of action. Do you think say that year of action will be transcend into the livelihood of Sierra Leoneans as they continue for cry, say the country banner?
The country banana for that one work. The president can only lead. They can show we what you for do. They can put the systems in place for them, we all grab. But if you don't grab, say you say go join him. That's it. Like you get a lot of tractors out there in the field. They say, all man go, then we go work. A lot of people don't even take that challenge. Every district to get enough tractors for them people they will want for work. Go between them, go ask for support. We go where they support. Government even go very far during the tenure of Abdul Karim, the minister of agriculture at the time. I found out Yoni, and my 91 Kumaba Milaya, and we will see how they plow over 1,000 acres of land for people for free. They give them seedlings for free. They give them food for work for free. The only thing they get from them for them to burn for themselves. And after that, they get machines. They harvest them for them. They give them. They didn't get that. I mean, what they go to be left no more for the president. You go cook the rest, put another table, put everything they needed. They do, and that is what they're doing in almost every district. Anybody who wants to do that, today, why rest go down? Now because we the brands rest now in the country from typhoon, reduce the dependence on imports of rice from there. They spend $220 million of every year. This year will be past 120, 25. It's less than 150 million. 70 million don't save from exporting, from importing of rice. Now we use that money for other things in this country. Now we have a lot of things. You talk about the livelihoods of people. Livelihoods of the people include the roads to the rural areas, include the bridges to the rural areas. I tell you, say, Saturday, we just don't go open a bridge. We just don't open the road from Bandajuma. I would say, another area they used to come on, Bandajuma, for come to Pujem. We, in the past, have been very troublesome area, especially in the rainy season. We come to Bandajuma, go Pujem, we spend about 2 to 3 hours. Now, not 30 minutes, now you spend because you don't make the road. This is how you reach communities. This is how you open opportunities for people to grow themselves and make themselves a better livelihoods. Or go to the market, or go to the farms, or go to the schools, or go to the businesses. That they happen. You see, when you want to develop, as you look at the roads, you look at the electricity, you look at the people they notice. Everybody just talks about Freetown, Blackout, Freetown.
All right.
The president himself has a farm there that should say that area uplift up. That with the farm, farm in a country fish, animals. He gets goats, he gets sheep, he gets cows, he gets fish, he gets chicken, and all that kind of thing.
All right, Honorable.
That's all people waiting for. That they want this good leadership, a good leader. They show the way, they go the way, and the way.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Alpha Khan, for this opportunity for let's talk to we on the phone line. Unfortunately, like I've been say, Honorable Alpha Khan not able to come on directly in the studio because according to right now, he gets engagements with them for the 9 o'clock with the president and other stakeholders. The program na Ecko Morning Show. Now we get Ecko inside the studio. Ecko, besides listening to waiting, Honorable Alpha Khan don't say, as a media person from the Hinduendos na social media, what's make up of the presidential speech yesterday?
Basically, before I address the question posed, I have reservations as to regards the conduct of your program this morning, but I'll talk to you in person. Back to the question you posed.
Well, first and foremost, I wouldn't say the reservation, let's clear it on air because you said it on air. Honorable Alpha Khan said he has an engagement. He's leaving in 15 minutes.
Does that mean I don't have an engagement coming here?
I'm coming. You do have an engagement, AKK, but let's have it this way. He said he has an engagement. He wasn't able to come. You were already here.
And I have to wait on him again.
You have the podium.
I don't have the podium. We have the podium equally.
You have the.
I would have equally chosen to sit at home and talk to you by the phone as well.
Apologies for how you felt, but
fine.
I had to
I told you I wanted us to talk offline.
Yeah,
but instead of just talk it publicly, we would say it publicly.
Yes, so that's.
I would have seated at home as well. I'm busy. I have court matters. I was supposed to be before the justice of the High Court.
AKK,
at 9 exact.
We should understand when somebody
But I prioritize coming here.
Which you have done already.
So now, I will have equally chosen to sit at home and talk to you by the phone.
Okay, AKK, now you've had exactly waiting Honorable Alpha Khan don't say, right? I'll not be able to pose the question to you because it don't tell me say in 15 minutes. Apologies for that. I didn't pose the question to you. I have made that.
And don't forget, I have to travel from the east to ferry myself here.
Yes.
I'm in serious traffic constraints.
AKK, I don't say apologies for not posing the question to you. I think
no, it's not a matter of posing the question. I told you I wanted us to discuss this offline. And you said let us discuss it here.
Yes, so now you don't hear me waiting Honorable Alpha Khan don't say, AKK. Besides being an APC member, from waiting at the Hinduendos yesterday what happened, what do you make of the president's speech?
In Mende, we get one proverbial saying, in Mende it's often said, when Mende man say, go asa, meaning I don't give up. I don't give everything out to God. Me own as mortal man, who say me sabi tap, now they don't stop so.
Okay.
Anything that will happen out of this, now God in infinite wisdom, now God in complete doing, now God completely they do it and nobody else know able to do it again. That's exactly how Sierra Leone do now. When the typical Sierra Leonean go tell you say that Kenya was somewhere. We don't reach at a point wherein even the leadership, where they provide leadership now, don't reach at a point where in breaking point it is so now. There's nothing again we expect from this leadership. When I listened President Bio yesterday carefully, I get the realization, say what is really left for us as young people. He spoke to us, the young people, directly. And he was very precise. He acknowledged the unbounded potentials we have as young people. But again, he confessed that his government has failed to provide in that enabling environment to harness our potentials. This is really, really worrisome. He acknowledges that indeed we are a vibrant chunk of the population of this country. He acknowledges the fact that if given the opportunity, we can do things that are very, very productive and that can lead this country to where exactly all of us are anticipating. But what is very frustrating and forsaking is the fact that he acknowledges the fact that 8 years down the line, he has not created that enabling environment at all to absorb these huge potentials we have. And that's worrisome.
As in job creation?
As in every facet of accommodating the young and youthful exuberance of us. As a nation, when that comes from the highest office of the land, young people will sit down and wallow and ask themselves what exactly was the essence of going to the university. To go and learn skills, whether the skills we are both skilled or unskilled, wherever it is and wherever means you acquire those skills, you have the firmness of conviction that after acquiring those skills, you are going to at least translate them into earning yourself a dignified source of income, or to at least put bread and butter on your table. But it is now very clear from the first gentleman that amidst these potentials we have, the enabling environment to at least translating these skills we have acquired is not created. 8 years down the line, nothing has been done to absorb us, to at least see us translate these skills into actuality. It's worrisome. That's a key thing. And to the young people of this country, I leave that to you. I always say this, it's not really a matter of politics. I always say this, when I talk politics, I talk it from the heart. As a young man growing up in this country, I've never been out of Sierra Leone. Everything about me has been Sierra Leone. I schooled here. With very, very, very lofty ambition, I still continue to carry. But when such things are now coming very eminent, it makes me to stand to ask myself, can these dreams really be achieved? And the answer I got yesterday, that these dreams cannot be achieved when the SLPP is at the helm of power. For 8 good years, the president cannot tell us anything significant that he has succeeded in doing. For 8 good years, the president continues to tell us that a country that cannot feed itself cannot truly call itself independent. For 8 good years, the president continues to tell you that we want to see how indeed the economy can blossom. That I acknowledge the reality of the unreliability of energy, and this unreliability of energy is adversely affecting small and big businesses to the extent that economy is really, really, really challenged, and thus the business environment is not as we want it to be. These are all true confessions coming from the president. I see the president, when he makes this confession, as him being a very genuine person. I see the president confessing to Sierra Leoneans really from the heart. I see the president telling us that indeed he's running out of ideas, and that all he wanted to do, 8 years, he cannot succeed at achieving one singular thing. And that is worrisome. For you to be given the mandate to run in a country for 10 good years, and 8 good years, you still continue to communicate to us that I have not achieved not even a singular something. It's worrisome. It's frustrating. It's heartbreaking. And so, for me, we will not lose faith as Sierra Leoneans, but we'll change systems, legitimately and through the ballot box. We have said it, and I have said it many a time, that the SLPP hasn't got the know-how, they haven't got the requisite know-how to at least run this country. They don't have the know-how. They don't know how to go about it. And anytime we try them, I said it again before independence in this same studio, that once we take 2 steps forward, and when these guys come at the helm of affairs, they retrogress us 10 steps backwards. And this was exactly clearly evident yesterday when the president was addressing the nation in our 65th anniversary. He alluded to the fact that indeed what all AKK has been saying was not really born out of malice. It was born out of the true spirit of constructive criticism. And that is why the president says, yes, hold us accountable. But when AKK does this, others feel very uncomfortable. The president happens to be like a fatherly figure to me. One, he's my kinsman from birth, and I'm very certain that he has children like me. So I see him like a father. I seem like an uncle. I seem like an elderly brother. So all I want for him is to succeed. But again, in law, we are what to call the nemo that's rule. That you cannot give what you don't have. The president at this point cannot give to Sierra Leoneans any other thing. Had he got any other thing he can offer to Sierra Leone, he would have given us even the first day he entered office. For 10 years, and you've utilized 8 years, and you're still coming to us and confessing that indeed a country that cannot feed itself cannot truly call itself independent. It's true, Mr. President. But one thing that you have equally said that your followers will not allude to is that you have told us that you have failed us.
Okay, AKK, inside President's speech, he said matured nation does not hide from difficulties. So why if he said the president say that we for hide from difficulties, say all thing okay?
This is exactly the sharp contrast. Not even SASCO can tell you that Sierra Leone is rosy. But one thing I will tell you is that all of us have the firmness of conviction that there will come a time Sierra Leone will be better off. And it is this hope we must not allow to fade away. It is this hope we must cherish and we must jealously guard, that it must not slip off our hands. And so, when this hope attempts to at least be whisked off our hands, it becomes a cause for concern. So what I am trying to say is this. Genuinely speaking, Lizzie, the president saying what he said was true. As a matured nation, yes, we must not be shy from the reality. But what exactly was our social contract? Was that this reality was evident and that you are coming in to at least ameliorate these harsh realities. For 8 years down the line, you did not at any point in time try to at least cushion that harsh realities, but rather adverse them. So in other words, you've not solved the problem, you've just worsened the problem. So President Bill did not take over the reins of governance in this country whilst petrol was 35,000 leos. No. President Bill didn't take over the reins of governance when a bag of rice was sold at 800,000 or 1 million. No. President Bill didn't take the reins of governance when petroleum products were sold at 35,000. No. To the extent, if you follow his debates at Bintu Mani in 2007, 2018, he said unequivocally that 250,000 for a bag of rice is too much. And that when he comes, he will make sure that Sierra Leoneans get their bag of rice at a much more reasonable and cheap price.
What was he insinuating?
He was insinuating better days ahead. He was condemning our current situation and promising us a future ahead that is brighter. But the sharp reality is, the future President Bill promised us was really not the future we anticipated. It was exactly taking us from the frying pot to the fire. That was exactly, and this is exactly where President Bill has landed this nation. He has taken us from the frying pot to the fire directly.
But President said 1961, we were not handed a finished nation.
That is not a novelty to us at all, we know that.
All right.
We knew that we are going to take our future in our hands. And that was exactly the reason why our forefathers moved for independence. That it is now time that we have to decide our future. We have to shape the Sierra Leone we want. We want to build our future ourselves. And so that was telling you we are going to start a new journey. That's not novelty. He did not, President Bill, with all due respect to him, need not to remind us of that. Because we already know that taking our future in our own hands solely means that we are now going to be solely responsible for wherever that is going to happen in this country. And 65 years down the line, at any point in time we start going forward, these guys will come and take us 10 steps backward.
Honorable sir.
Lawyer AKK.
Lawyer AKK. The president mentioned where he talk to the youth and say, make the youth of Sierra Leone take in government accountable, let them demand seriousness, let them demand the results. We youth say don't they do that? And if they don't do that, what don't they be the results?
Let me give you this, and it is more often said by very experienced people. They says the devil's works yard is the idle mind. Better said, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Imagine you've gone through the university. Like for me, I did 2 degrees. I spent 8 good years at Fabi. Those years were not just wasted. I earned 2 first degrees. Now, after all that, and you come back, and you have nothing to be gainfully employed in doing, but rather retire yourself to the attire base, aren't you starting to see that that mind is becoming idle? You have taken the steps as a young person to accept education, fight tooth and nail to go to the university, graduate from the university with one of the finest degrees. Yet still, President Biya has confessed that indeed the economy and the current status quo hasn't created the enabling environment to absorb you, to becoming productive. What are you going to retire to do? You sit at the attire basis. You become an idler. You become somebody who will perambulate in the streets of Freetown, completely idle, doing nothing. So in other words, the young people of this country have done so much for themselves. And I'll say that and I'll give them their laurels. I will challenge you to the greatest of extent. Do a vox popping. Go to our attire bases. Go to our places where young boys hang out, and see the level of people who will tell you, I am a graduate from the university. And he will tell you, I have graduated from the university for over 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, 2 years. And I have written application almost to all institutions in this country. Not even an institution have accepted or acknowledged receipt of my application. That's worrisome. So if an institution you've applied to for employment does not even acknowledge receipt of your application, talk less of whether you've been to be called for an interview.
But President,
now, job in this country is
President
condition dependent on who you know and how you're connected and how favored you are. Simply put, it's immaterial of the qualifications you carry. It's just condition dependent on the person you know and how you're connected.
Like Ecko, the president acknowledged that in Ohio, he say he understand the youth and frustration for job. He talk and say youth frustration for job.
Exactly.
You know if he say,
and he further acknowledged that there's no enabling environment for those young people to be absorbed into the economy, into the labor force.
Under which section?
You listen it.
Well, it say the youth frustration for job, which is eminent, with they see down there. So, but when you look at jobs, sometimes government can say not so we they create job, that they enabling environment. Part of private sectors and where they don't allow for let them come and expand job creation.
Lizzie,
So,
let me share with you this.
All
I've
right.
been in the classroom for a very long time. I spent over a decade in the classroom. And not only in the primary school, in the tertiary institution, in the university as a lecturer. One thing we must understand, and we must not shy away from it, is government that provides the regulatory framework. You understand that? Nobody gets up one morning and goes to Fabric Currency, I want to go read how to make carpet. No, nobody thinks of that. You don't even have the capacity to do so. You know who does that? It's the Ministry of Technical Higher Education. To develop curricula that matches the demands of today. Instituting in our universities disciplines that are so job related of the 21st century demands. Are you beginning to understand? I'm not talking as a lay person here. So when I say the burden lies on government, it's for government and the policy formulators to look at our curriculum and see how best they can disconnect us from going to the university to read history and politics, library studies, peace and conflicts, African studies, African drama, to start mentioning exactly disciplines that the sooner you leave the university, the labor market is awaiting you. Prior to this time, you see Sierra Leone, President Kuruma, former, said it is now high time that our government now embarks with institutions to reform our old disciplines and to developing disciplines that are now job related and they are of the demands of the 21st century. That was why you saw President Former brought in logistics and supply chain management, human resources management, very, very recent oil and petroleum. These different disciplines were instituted in our universities. This was what President Biya was to continue to expand on. Now to look at exactly how AI is going, how technologies opening up. How exactly, imagine disciplines are coming. Sit our professors together. Sit them on a round table. Say, hey, you know what? Let us design disciplines that will make sure that when our kids graduate from the university, they will not be searching for job, but they will be job creators. Let us see how best our markets are readily available to absorb these young guys that are coming from the university, so that the sooner they're graduating from the university, they're hands on
Now,
the job.
okay, we do
But
have,
this cannot come from the individual. This is what I want you to understand.
Okay.
It has to come from the government. The government has to create the enabling environment, the disciplines, so that you go to the university and read these disciplines, and then you come and you become useful.
like, okay, now we get information and communications and technology minister. We don't see rollout of programs in colleges where more of now technology, tech related. For much of the recent system where we dey head into, it's not part of development.
I would say with the SLPP government, they are good at talking things on paper. Come to implementation. I noted when the president says, Tomabom and Bundapi, we're going to make sure again how best we can feed ourselves. From when President Bio came in 2018, we talk about the Tomabom rice project, 80, the 1 grain of rice not commodity. 8 years down the line, he's still telling you that we are still making huge inroads to making sure that we feed ourselves. 2 years down the line now, when Bundapi then they done irrigation lines, when Bundapi go done prepare all the mechanized machines for industrial farming or mechanized farming, you're done. So in other words, he has not succeeded in even a singular act that in 10 years, when I may have completed, I will have got A, B, and Z. I will have completed nothing. 8 years now, the president still continues to tell you that I did not promise you a quick fix. I promised you A, B, and Z. But in as much as you promised us A, B, and Z, give us the fundamentals, the starting points, that we see that indeed you are saying something that is of exactly what you're preaching. But this is not so. So for me, I continue to say this, and I say it always. There's no other way we can do it. We don't know, say, he cannot give us what he don't have. This is the country we find ourselves. So now it's now left to the people of this country to accept that indeed, let us seize our expectation from the SLPP government. They cannot give us anything better than what we are currently facing.
Lawyer AKK.
They cannot. So when I listen Honorable Alpha Khan saying that whosoever thinks that President Bio was confessing as Joseph Saidu Momo once did, I think those people who are thinking in that line cannot be far removed from the reality. Because when the president comes bluntly to acknowledging that indeed so many things have happened and these are the realities on ground, we have to accept them and provide solutions. That's also the same thing Joseph Saidu Momo did. That indeed, yes, I cannot say I've done everything good, but there are certain areas I have not succeeded in doing. That's what President Bio did yesterday in another form. You can see even when the State House, when President was delivering his official address or the state address of independence, you see certain parts of State House, the windows, they are tattered. You understand that if all those monies that the President and his cabinets have used on overseas travels alone will have been sufficient enough to renovate the entire State House. There comes the willingness of government. Just an overseas travel of the president and the first family is sufficient enough to renovate State House. Yes. Just an overseas travel of cabinet ministers for 1 month is sufficient enough to renovate the entire lodge of the president. Beautify it. Compare and contrast the SLPP political party office, the office of the chairman, Jimmy Batilo Songa, to that of any office at State House. You see the sharp contrast.
Okay, I don't want us, well, we don't.
So you're beginning to notice.
We don't talk English too much. Now we go to put inside Creole. I don't really want we put this on political line. Now we left them onto national line. The question we go ask for that statement where you say why the president they give his speech, they gets something then at the background we're not being too fit.
But you see, State House, the presidency also na fan dey be now.
Well,
just to tell you, just imagine.
Now outside them
salon.
Now outside them we do the activity, but the question I want to ask, whether
my goodness,
whether then glasses then or then renovation where they talk about, they part of governance as of now, where we they look at waiting at the way forward for the country.
Elizabeth, let me make this very clear to you. It requires you say you, Elizabeth, who say sit down so. The environment will always be tidy. Look befitting for you, right?
Sure.
You want to make a command and you go lay down, who say, well, go there and say, oh, Elizabeth, I know they expect you. Hmm? The Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness.
You been see anything good in that speech where President said yesterday? Any take home?
The only thing I see in that speech that indeed the President confessed to, we say don't fail we as a nation. And I accept that from him, from a genuine, sincere point of view, that is very candid to us. That he has failed us as a nation. He has told us who can read and critically analyze that do not expect anything new from me again. 8 years down the line, I have not succeeded in anything. I'm just here waiting. And that's why he said, 2028 election is fast approaching. We must approach it with the seriousness it deserves. What amount of seriousness again can President Bio attach to a statement of that nature? Sierra Leoneans, you and I, we owe it to ourselves to know that indeed this government who are sanguine. We don't accept saying so it don't be. They cannot give what they don't have. They have failed us by every estimation of a reasonable person. Anything you point at Nasalon, it is at the lowest of the low. He said about we don't get too much access to speaking in a school. And then he further say the access alone not sufficient, but the quality. Now let us zero on the quality. When you go now to schools, they realize say access now one, but quality is poor. What are we gaining? Nothing. He commodity. He said we as a nation need for hold them accountable. We attempt for hold them accountable. You know what happen? In the Pandemba Road, in the PPRs. So in one day they say hold them accountable. When you hold them accountable, they say, oh.
Well, constructively, I feel saying that that's because when you want to hold somebody accountable, now constructively, like you're sitting on the media now, constructively you hold them accountable, they know they care you go to jail.
Mama.
But when you come unconstructively or unproductively, then that's where you get into.
And I agree with you totally. I agree with you totally. There's no other way to hold government accountable rather than when you make it very constructive and civilized. But again, amidst that constructive and civilized discourse, this is where state capture and intimidation comes into the play. What is good for Peter should be good for Paul. If you do unto Joseph, do unto Michael. If you say this way this guy do, it was unconstructive and uncivilized and you punish him for him, fine. But if Peter do him, why you not go punish him? Of the same magnitude, of the same proportionality, why you not go do unto him? You understand what I'm saying now? So me don't do it. You say, no, you're not supposed to do what you do. So it was really not called for. It's uncivilized. It's unconstructive. I don't suffer that punishment. But you now can do the same. In fact, you even do worse than what you do. Me do. But they left you. They say, no, that's not a joke. You see cherry picking?
So under which what did they try for insinuate and which
Lansan
example
Adumboya, Zainab Sheriff. Zainab Sheriff in the exact one says election business are serious business. Anybody who tip election therefore do A, B, C. And the president then Matrujong say anybody who support APC in a bomb in particular, so that person they get costs. So that person they die early morning. The fact remains, everything when they all to talk get semblance of death.
We been get one APC member we been sitting on that chair. We talk say ain't go serve as an example for teach people them because they talk Mende like you. So that's they able for teach people them explain to people. It wasn't you. It was an APC member we say the president's speech was taken out of context. An APC senior scribe like you. He said the speech was taken out of context because people they not able to understand. But Ingo Sana asked him, would you serve as a leverage for educate people there? He said, yes, I will serve as a leverage. So don't you think the president's speech was taken out of context?
And if you ever listen again, my argument will be put forward again at the same studio against PPRs where they levy fine against we.
You did that.
That if they equally give you the opportunity, would they tell and say the way they understand with statements, that was not exactly the intent of the speaker. That if they give you the opportunity, would tell and say this was exactly what we meant. And so you're taking it out of context. But we're not giving that opportunity. We are not. Rather, then go straight away and find we. I challenge it all over the radio stations in this country, online television platforms, and every place I can go. I say, hey, wait a second. You cannot be the judge and the player at the same time. Let there be the doctrine of Odi al Patem. Here the other side. You've seen a video footage on air. Call the person. First to know whether that video footage is AI or it's original. And then if it's original, ask the person what exactly was the intention. Because for a law, for a crime to be complete, there must be the actus reus and the mens rea. The act and the intention must coincide for a crime to be complete. So try to know exactly who exactly the person is and what his intention was.
Lawyer Ecko.
But this was not given to the APC.
You they say, Lawyer Ecko, you they say the president's not get much again for offer to the nation.
That's exactly what I said.
Years.
That's exactly
So,
what I
but
said.
the president mentioned in his speech say 2026 is a year of action and accelerated execution.
Can the action be the incarceration of dissenting views and the imprisonment of opposition voices? Can the action be the current chief minister now telling us that he's going to the well of parliament to pass in the security and intelligence bill that is now going to secure the office of the president and try to strangulate dissenting views? Is that what the action we are anticipating? When you look at the central intelligence security bill, the chief minister is promoting, and he has just tweeted, I just followed him just 2 minutes ago, that he's now going to the well of parliament to face parliament with regards to that bill and the establishment of a new security architecture. But you left for put bread and butter now table. You left for members say 1 bag cement now then they sell at 250 or 260,000 for 1 bag cement. Iron rod there around 280, 290,000, 300,000 for 1 length iron rod. Fuel now they go to 35,000. People in the trike from Waterloo to Upgon because they don't get money for pay motocar. Motocar now they take halfway from Upgon to Ferry Junction at 10,000, from Ferry Junction to Shell at 10,000, from Shell to PMB at 10. Tell you they reach Waterloo, they don't spend over 100,000. All these things are very, very serious issues that need a serious conversation around. You know the talker. You say they go pass bill where they protect president, where they protect vice president, where they protect former president, where they protect former leader, where they protect leader. What is the essence of that? Why do we need a bill to protecting the president? Why is the constitution is already there protecting the president?
Or if you
Why do we need a bill to protecting the former leader of the party? Whilst there is laws that guarantees everybody equality before the law of the land. Why do we need special laws to protecting special people? Whilst all of us believe that all of us are equal before the law of the land. Why?
No, IKK, you know if you say if this, according to what they say, I haven't seen the tweet yet.
I can share it with you if you want that.
According to what they say, if then laws then been there, you know if you say former President Nkrumah no for day in exile by now for done this thing at the country.
In fact, let me say this to you and let me make this very clear. The law should not be made to protect one person. Put me on record for that. The law should be made to addressing a concern that benefits all and sundry.
So if you say it go table a law na parliament or a bill na parliament, if that bill been there in place, that's the question what they ask now. If that bill been there in place, you not feel say that bill or that law for don't protect former President Nkrumah.
President Nkrumah not ever needed a bill for protect him. If he wanted that, he would have done so. Okay. He knew he have worked for this country diligently. And that is why he told the people of this country that when they retire from presidency, and then they go no side. So they go sit down, they go sit down at my village. Because I don't work for the people then. That is why he chose to go and retire home. So because he knew nothing was going to run after him. Okay. Nothing was going to chase him. He has served us diligently. He has served us with everything somebody can give to his nation. For love's sake, for development, and for the progress of this nation. So he needed no extra protection. He has served every fiber in his life. He has done everything that he thinks everybody will appreciate him of a reasonable thinking. And so he was comfortable to retire from politics and sit enjoying his benefits and his pension. So he was not ready. He was not afraid of his shadow. He was not saying, no, if I not protect myself, I not put laws there for protect me, them and go run after me. No. Had he thought of that, he would have protected himself. But he never thought of that.
So
and he knew
the rivers.
But he knew he has served well. And until this point, President Nkrumah, who said this, so former president, he will tell you, say, me, I want to come back to my country. I don't do nobody bad in this country. I don't serve me people them. Me working at this country, they show how I don't work for Sierra Leoneans. And to be honest, wallahi, if you say no more, you want to delete President Nkrumah as alone, and that pain, I will kill you. Because you know why? In working at this country, it's evident all over the place. You cannot erase him. You cannot do without him. His landmark is all over the place. Go to the judiciary, go to the executive, go to the legislature, go to every facet of life. He succeeded in touching lives, in touching communities, in transforming lives and communities. So that cannot be traded overnight.
All right, Lawyer Ecko, President say production, the Sierra Leone we are building. Are we building? Are we still building Sierra Leone, or you think we have finished building?
No, President Bio will have said I think you know I better said the Sierra Leone I attempted to build like kind of bill, but
it not personalized. Well, we as a nation.
No, that's what I am saying now.
So
I said
he
will have said. I said he will have said. The Sierra Leone I intended to build I cannot build in 8 years. I am very certain that the next person who will come will take off from where President Nkrumah left, and it will continue same. Because don't forget, all the landmark developments of President Nkrumah are visible. All we needed was to President Bio to come and continue from that same trajectory.
Are you talking with a political lens, or you're talking nationalistic?
Nationalistic. Listen, you know me. I don't succumb to political sentiments. Yes, I'm APC. I agree to that one. I am APC through and through. But one thing that stands tall in my discourse is always nationalism. When I talk about Sierra Leone, I talk Sierra Leone from the heart, and not from a party standpoint. And that is why you notice, when yesterday the Secretary General was addressing the nation, although he was Secretary General of the APC political party, but he spoke more to Sierra Leoneans that don't look at my statements from a political lens. Let's collectively own this statement and let's work for our collective good. Same to Ambassador Usman Fode Yansane, his presser before independence. He said if Sierra Leoneans can come together and fight, irrespective of whether you are a Northerner, you're a Southerner, you're an Easterner, to say no to colonial rule. Say no, we cannot be paying taxes for our own huts we built ourselves without representation. All of us can come together and fight for the collective good of Sierra Leone, to make Sierra Leone a better country, irrespective of whether you are a Temne man, you're a Mende man, you're a Shabru man, or a Limba man. That is what the APC is known for. That is why we are called the All People's Congress Party. It's the All People's Congress. It's inclusive.
Like, okay, if you're talking with nationalistic lens, why don't you think Sierra Leone is still in the building phase rather than the
I am not denying that. That's why I said, all I thought President Bio would have said was, I had this intention of continuing building Sierra Leone. But that intention of mine, as good as it was, I was not able to actualize it. 8 years down the line, there is nothing I can point at that I have succeeded in doing. Thus, I am asking that whosoever will come after me, please continue from where my predecessor was. HNS by Nkrumah former. Because if you can continue from that trajectory, I think what I am not able to do in 8 years, you can achieve in 1 or 2 years. The platform was created. The enabling environment was created. Peace, quiet, was all given to him on a silver platter.
President said he has commissioned a lot of bridges. Kids are more in schools than ever. Are these all not tangible developments, Lawyer KK?
They are tangible development, but they are very insignificant as compared to 8 years we were expecting from him. Let us understand this. I cannot be seated here with all the level of education I confess or I say I have, to sit here and say 8 years down the line, President Bio have not done anything. But I'll tell you, President Bio, what he has done in 8 years is very, very insignificant to the fact that our hopes and aspirations were completely simmered down. That indeed, We expected heaven. We were taken to hell. We expected President Bill saying, only we fish that the seas able for feed we in this country. Talk less about with minerals, with diamonds, with gold. President Bill said the promise we say the government of Ernest Bai Koroma had a bloated wage bill. Too much ministers, blah blah blah. So we can cut them down. When he can, that the inverse he do. President Bill promised we say when he can they revisit the toll gates. Whilst APC time will they pay 2 million for pass, today they pay 10 million for pass. President Bill promised we say rest 250,000 for bag. It was exorbitant. So we can they revisit and make sure the Australians go to bed fed. Go today and do a vox popping. Ask from this time from now till to this point, how many Australians really sat and say by the close of business today, I will be guaranteed of a meal a day? Very little. Very few Australians. President Bill and others, Ben Kefal and others get the Black Friday or Black Monday when fuel goes 6,000 leons per litre. Saying they protest, President Koroma would have left them. Today fuel don't go 35,000. Nobody know their communal treat because if the communal treats, then you leave body and they take that treat.
Is it only in Sierra Leone who will get this fuel crisis?
I am talking about Sierra Leone because this is what I know.
But it's global.
And I tell you for the past term where Mamadou Doumbouya don't take over the reins of governance in Guinea, 1 shilling they not put on top fuel. So now Salon no more they feel the close of the straits in Hamus.
All right.
So the point I am making is this. In as much as we all belong to the global village, but it's not all shocks that affects the globe that instantaneously affects us. It requires good administration, proper and efficient fiscal discipline, and proper resource management.
Lawyer Ecko, yesterday we see a lot of congratulatory message. This morning I just see the Saudi Arabia themselves don't congratulate we, British congratulate we, and American congratulate we. How do you feel as a
Congratulations on waiting.
About we 65th birthday?
And the same thing yesterday when I was with the Commonwealth Secretariat. They asked me, say, oh, young man, you're so dressed in your green, white, and blue. Among so many people, you look so good in this green, white, and blue. And I told her, straightforward.
Were you that conspicuous?
I spoke to her straightforward. I said, my lady, with all due respect, if I have nothing to celebrate, I'll celebrate myself for being a resilient Sierra Leonean. If I don't get nothing yesterday for make her celebrate, if I don't get food for it, I go tell God thank you for the life we God give me for make her able to survive under SLPP. This is the harsh reality.
Now we talk about the congratulatory message.
So that is what I am saying.
We get one from Britain.
So they are congratulating us. You know why make them congratulate me? Because they know say Salon right now. Nobody in a Salon no guaranteed of living $1 a day.
But then congratulate you.
So now then they congratulate you for the resilience, for the pain level where we did. For saying no matter how these people are strong, we cannot expect these people under these harsh realities that onto this point they still put on a green, white, and blue. Yes, if we have nothing to celebrate, we'll celebrate ourselves for being resilient people.
All right, the program now Ecko Morning Show. Melissa, do you have any question for me, brother?
This one gets to do with the political aspects. You know, President mentioned in his speech say, it's a political disagreement must never suspend public service. Lawyer Ecko, how this resonates with you and your political party, the APC?
In the first place, in fact, when President said political disagreement must not really deny ourselves the service to our people, the next question I ask, why in fact do we need political disagreement after we all don't go sit on a table, we don't agree? So I shift back the question to the President. Me and you two don't can sit on a Lizzie. We don't agree on a fair term. Say that this you they do and this myself go do. We don't agree. Then we go now for go implement her. Lizzie, come on. You go do something contrary. Then you say enough for vex. I for continue no more. Is that fair? Is that done in good faith? So in other words, why in fact there should be political disagreement after we've agreed that this is how we're going to do it? It's not fair. It's acting in bad faith. We don't agree say we electoral system in this country is fraud. We don't agree say we electoral system in this country it get challenges. You said it's the baby child of you. Indeed, nobody don't deny you from Nandi. we don't agree, say, let we overhaul and get institutional reforms, i.e. ECSL. That we know, say, Section 32.3 is really challenging. And so let we see how best we can narrow down what exactly consultation means. We don't agree, fine. After we don't agree, now you come up here, we back. Now you go say, now they go appoint her first. Why is this will go, they go on? Able Lisbeth, if you say something to you, so I go feel. So it is not really telling us that we deny people their participation, no. But our people and say we are not grieve for them again this time around. Because they don't do it once, they don't do it twice, no may not do it 3 times again. Because our people there are direct people we are answerable to because they elected us. So when they say do this, we do it because they own the power. The power belongs to them. Sovereignty belongs to them. They stood the test of time, queue from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock p.m. to vote us in. And having voted us in, we are answerable to them. So if they say don't do this, we go by their instruction. So it was not a disservice to our people, but rather a service to our people because our people demanded what we need. But however, what I wanted to say is this. Why, in fact, shall there be disagreement after we've agreed to go this way? It's not fair. It's not acting in good faith. So for us, we agree that indeed disagreements of very, very, very different nature, i.e. on policies, like for instance, the building of the Ecko Secretariat at Lunge, which is going to cost us so many millions of dollars, which they have already secured a loan from a private company. They call it a PPP for the ultra-modern conference center they are going to build at Lungi. If you ask me as an opposition person, I will tell you yes. It's good, it's laudable, but before we go build a conference center, that money they would use for build a conference center. Let we look at Sierra Leone. Do we really have very, very good health sector? Like for instance, let us say, if person get heart attack, who would care about that person in a salon? Then cardiac arrest. Serious issues of that nature. Why can't you start thinking of having 21st century ultra-modern hospitals regionally? We get one at the eastern region, we get one at the southern region, we get one at the northwestern region, we get one at the northern region. We'll say this is highly scientific. Where you notice it, indeed, this is one of the edifices where the world they look at say we say better medical center surely gets one. So that money alone, sometimes we don't do for build 1 or 2 hospitals of that nature. Or even not that. So that money alone, we don't do for improve in we educational system. As President Bill, they say quality. How many teachers then they pay dignified? How many teachers then where they don't say you know government approved teacher when now then they pay our money in salary, in accounts? None. Over 22 or 18,000 Australian teachers they don't recruit. As of this point, some they still tell you say from when they don't give we approval, they don't pay we it. How many government schools there or government assisted schools they when they don't pay subvention for this current academic year? I am yet to see. So there are so many ways we don't utilize that money. So this is exactly where I want to anchor on political disagreements. So such political disagreements of that nature, if you call the APC, we say no, although we don't secure this money, but let we use that for A, B, C, D. But that not going to make say.
But then diversion of fund and then it will serve as corruption.
No, you look for the expediency.
It is used for a purpose and it should be used for a purpose. If you
yes, that is how I'm trying to tell you this.
When they go come for can monitor you, then
no,
they end up
we'll tell before securing that loan for an ultra-modern conference center, we'll tell the people who are giving us the loan, if no more na conference on our loan, we will not give you this. We want to build proper healthcare systems.
Honorable, I say honorable. AKK, you know, say you get some members of international community when they come for the mere fact they realize say now water then they cross to Freetown and they become scared. Some they even return. You know that. You know, if you say if that ultra-modern hotel conference center they under it will make it easy for Sierra Leoneans and not for feel like say they are not visited.
And if that is the same reasoning, flip it now this way. You know how many people where they free turn a year will not ever go Lunge? How beneficial would that particular conference would be to the greater Sierra Leonean when it is erected there, when majority not get for good access them? So just after the ECOWAS conference, it will be standing there now. For begin the access and begin to see the window, then begin for them because it go there 1-2 months, nobody know the user. Because if you say they pull everybody in a free turn for ferry them back, as it is now, it's over 2 months now. Now one great ferry they run Green and Lungi. Nobody knows the talk about that. So why you know for don't use that money then buy brand new ferries then for we? Because Lungi Bridge not carry again. You understand what I'm saying? Look the kind of money we see coach and others than they make as private institutions. Why government don't draw attention and say, this kind of money people they make, who people in the suffer. Before I go build conference center yonder, now make account 2 giant brand new ferries then. So that at least the issue of ferry for would broke down at the high sea. Put the people there at risk. To be honest, man, I tell you this truth. Go to ferry terminal and ask the engineers or the operators. Say when they take more to carry now, when they load this ferry. So waiting at the tonnage of the weight where this ferry for take to capacity. They're not even happy. They just load and wait full up and say the ferry don't full up.
Okay.
To be honest, it says it's a ferry don't full up. They don't even know waiting at the quantity when they for take. And as I'm telling you now, may the Lord forbid that ferry day it broke down at the high sea. There's no other immediate rescue mechanism. That one great ferry we don't they use for the past 2 months that's alone. Nobody talks about it. Civil society man don't suffer. When they talk, they are afraid of being intimidated. To the extent that even AKK we sit on there, somebody tell people in the economy, AKK, hey, but we're afraid for your life. Hey, AKK, I did one. But for me, I know I am not trampling on anybody's right. I know I am doing this selflessly for the fear of God and for my country. I owe it to God and to myself. That indeed I have to speak truth to power for the betterment of all of us. I want a Sierra Leone that all of us will be proud of.
All right, so program now Ecko Morning Show, plenty thank you to our studio guest, lawyer AKK. He been get vexed a little bit, but we don't sort her out because the idea why vex, according to me understanding, I mean inside the studio I posed a question to Honorable Alpha Khan for about 10 minutes. Whilst he was sitting, I couldn't pose the question to him. However, that was unfair on my part, and I apologize for that. Again, the reason why I did that, why I explained to her, Honorable Alpha Khan was rushing to go for a program. His face was on the flyer. He texted me saying no go Bukam, but he approved for let I call him for just 10 minutes. That was the reason. So let me make this clear before the program ends. So again, apologies for that, Lawyer AKK. Plenty thank you to una wait on a text message. You will be the part of the program. Your name is Elizabeth Kefrigembe. As time don't be between now.
Plenty thank you to you. We join inside the program. We for say beaucoup thank you to we technical help David Hardin and to you we cameraman Alfred. So till we meet again, me and Melissa Fortune. I wish you a lovely day.
Me fambulem na salon. Ecko Media TV don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform salon people. Me fambulem una aduo, una cabo and kusheo. Ecko Media Online TV don't come ya so far we hello. We dey connect every voice any side where you dey like na home and a brother. Bringing development, Ecko Media we strive for the best. We unify, sensitize, and inform everyone. Yeah. We get political discussions, entertainment and sports if we get the money sessions, Ecko Morning Show. We dey bring them to you. Ecko Media TV for development, nomination, independent media house. We dey so and we dey strong. Ecko Media TV for development, nomination. You like you dey home and abroad. We dey so and we dey strong. We dey so for talk about wetin dey happen. Now we country saloon. We dey give you the news. Wait for the use. We also dey talk about waiting they happen. Now the media defeating the lies of the fake people.